Good evening and welcome to another installment of the New York Minute Sports Show. The New York Knicks are champions of the world. Let that sink in. It's New York Minute Sports. It's New York sports for New York nuts. Don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe. Let's go!
It's New York Minute Sports.
Let me say the words that I thought I'd never say in my lifetime. The New York Knicks are NBA champions, baby. Let's go! The New York Knicks defeat the Spurs 4-1 in one of the most historic, monumental, epic playoff runs from any NBA team ever. The Steph Curry Golden State Warriors, better than them. The Michael Jordan Bulls, better than them. And that's what reminds me of my youth, is the 90s Knicks, John Starks, Patrick Ewing and company, Charles Oakley, Anthony Mason. That's who I grew up on. And I had my heart broken all the time. I had Michael Jordan rip my heart out of my chest in the playoffs time after time after time. Then he gets out of the way and Reggie Miller breaks my heart. Then the Miami Heat entered the chat. It always seemed like doom and gloom for the New York Knicks. Whenever something could go wrong, it did go wrong for the New York Knicks. Then we had the laughing stock of the NBA generation, the Isaiah Thomas, the Phil Jackson experiment. The New York Knicks were as bad as it gets, with the most loyal fan base on planet Earth. And that's why I rolled film tonight, to thank Jalen Brunson, Bridges, and Hart, and the Nova Knicks for winning my old ass a championship, baby. Let's go! And that's what fired me up about this Knicks team 3 years ago when they got Jalen Brunson, because they were a lunch pail, hard hat, driven, tough team that actually emulated the New York fan base. All we did was buy overpriced guys, over-the-hill guys, year after year after year. Watched Isaiah Thomas completely mismanage our cap space after Allen Houston, and all the jokes, and watching LeBron James and Michael Jordan and different players like Kobe Bryant come into the Garden and make it into their playground, and us be the whipping boy of the rest of the NBA. And Jalen Brunson changed all of that. And that's why Jalen Brunson is the Rudy of New York, man. He is a undersized, 100-0, 5'0", amazing clutch athlete right next to Mariano Rivera in the state of New York with closing games out. Jalen Brunson is the most clutch player I've seen next to Mariano Rivera. Now, you got to remember, Mo has had less runs scored against him than men have walked on the moon. And Jalen Brunson is in rarefied air in the playoffs in the NBA now. They took it to the San Antonio Spurs, and what the difference in this series was: chemistry, brotherhood, determination, and grit. And that's exactly what the New York Knicks put on display for the rest of the world. And all I heard was how great Wemby was. Before this series even started, we heard that the New York Knicks were going to be lucky to keep it close against this great San Antonio Spurs team. It just shows that hard work, determination, and in the NBA, defense goes a long way. And the will to win that Jalen Brunson has is unmatched in the rest of the NBA. And we saw a physical NBA Finals, and it was a throwback to those tough times and those rough and tumble 90s basketball that we love to talk about and we love to wax poetic about. We got it here in this Finals, and Jalen Brunson responded. You could have got criminal charges for what happened to Jalen Brunson in this series, and what did he do every time? He popped up, didn't complain, and went right back at the Spurs like the Terminator. Yes, the San Antonio Spurs are a good team. Is Wemby the face of the NBA moving forward? Absolutely. Do I think the New York Knicks got in there and won a championship before the Spurs actually assembled the Death Star? I think they did. But guys, the New York Knicks are champions of the world. And it finally sunk in when I saw James Dolan raise the trophy tonight. After the 25 years of sell the team chants and saying that Dolan was sticking his nose into the NBA business way too much, and that was the problem. And that was the reason that the New York Knicks couldn't turn things around, was because of the overbearing owner. And you got to remember, no free agent wanted to come here. It was Amari Stoudemire that started that, and then Carmelo Anthony came here, and now we have the Nova Knicks. We have the team that the 90s Knicks fans deserve. We have the team that the new New York Knicks fan deserves. And how can you hate these guys? A guy like Karl-Anthony Towns, who's been doubted all season long, didn't know where he fit in Brown's system. And then he was a part of trade talks all season long for the Greek Freak, because a majority of people were willing to bail on this New York Knicks team to reassemble it with the Greek Freak included, because they didn't think they can win a chip. James Dolan got on WFAN and said, no, the team that we have assembled can win a championship right now. I've said it before on this show. The reason and the difference that makes the Knicks a championship team, Brunson is good, but Karl-Anthony Towns made the New York Knicks a different team. Now, you know who made the Knicks a special team? Was when the New York Knicks acquired OG from the Toronto Raptors. This team completely became different. OG turned into the Scottie Pippen of the New York Knicks, a defensive dynamo who can score you 33 and now has the touch of God and should have a statue made of him in front of MSG. You know who's responsible for all these guys on the New York Knicks? None other than Leon Rose. And they always say the best man for the job is the guy that doesn't want it. And that's exactly what Leon Rose was. He didn't want it. He didn't want anybody else, Dolan. He was a friend, took the job on. And boy, did he excel. Some of the moves that he made looked like he had a crystal ball. And everyone was busting his chops for Mikal Bridges, and that paid off. Mikal Bridges shot 72% from the floor and turned into the player that the New York Knicks franchise knew that he could be, and that everyone that doubted could be. We were about to trade his ass, too, for DiVincenzo to come back. And shout out to Devo, and shout out to Tibbs, who made this team to what they are, and then shout out to Brown, who finally clinched it. He came in like Joe Torre for the 96 Yankees and finally got them over the hill. Tom Thibodeau should be awarded for building this team into the defensive, tough-minded team that they are, but they needed Brown to take him to the next level, and that's exactly what he did. Brown coached a stellar NBA Finals, and this was his second NBA Finals. Also, who let the dogs out? Who? And we cannot forget when the New York Knicks went out and got Hart from Portland. This guy does everything that doesn't show up in a box score every single night. He gets rebounds like Perk Angle from his TNA days wrestling, but Hart, no pun intended, is the heart of this team. And you gotta feel good for Mitchell Robinson. This guy is the most tenured New York Knick on the team. Got him in the second round from Vanderbilt. Didn't even play a single play at Vanderbilt, but got drafted from there and always had injury concerns in the beginning of the season. And it was like, can we get Mitch healthy the whole year? Well, guess what? He figured it out. He tried to sandbag himself with that broken finger, and hopefully by the parade, which is on Thursday, we'll get some more information on. I think he slammed his hand in this truck, in that behemoth of a truck that he's got. But listen, the New York Knicks are champions. It still hasn't set in yet. I started crying when Dolan lifted up the trophy. There's going to be more coverage on this. I'm going to the parade with about 20 of my friends, and this is who it's special for, guys. I have been waiting 34 years for tonight. 34 years. The finger roll from Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing pulling his Achilles, tearing his Achilles before the 99 championship, the 4-point play, the terrible free agent acquisition, Steve Francis. The list goes on and on and on. For all the disappointment that we've had in our lives as New York Knicks fans, these New York Knicks have exercised the demons, and how they have made me be able to look back and actually enjoy the past of the New York Knicks. And I want to thank them for that. And thank you for this championship. And these guys will live on in New York history. And remember, go over to New York Minute Sports, that's NEWYRK, anywhere in that smoke wagon you call the information superhighway, and you can find this show. I usually do the Yankees postgame show after every single Yankees game. You can find me here on New York Minute Sports. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to visit the New York Nuts merch store. All the t-shirts shown during the show are made in the USA, just like yours truly. I got to go crawl into a ball and be happy and cry because it still hasn't settled in. And remember, if you can't be good, be bad, baby. Good night, Canada. Bye.